How you doing? I tell you this is my story because this is what I've been through in the past year, 2 years, all my life basically. And this is how it goes. People that knows all my success, I thank God for that. I'm very blessed. But behind the scenes, there's a painful story. Sit down, get comfortable, and I'll be finished shortly. My life was full of surprises. It started when I was 5, turning 6. Got a call from a friend, let off some shots, and my cousin was hit. Over $20, a little back, and until this day, it makes me sick. He passed away a day later. He passed in April of 1996. I never understood how can I lose somebody over nonsense. Having him alive was my first wish. After that, I became bitter, always studying, staying in trouble, acting like an ignorant nigga. Excuse my French, I tell it like it is. Just dealing with something so dreadful, and I was only a little kid. 15 years I've been strolling through life, getting in trouble, getting bad grades, and going home with my mom spanking my tail every night. Even though I did a lot of wrong, I hated to see my mom upset with me. I've always thought I could change my life around. It was in God's time, and I didn't think He had a plan for me. Till one day, things started to change. My father sat me down after football practice and had a little talk. Told me in my face I wasn't his. He wanted a DNA test because he claimed I wasn't his kid. I'm thinking to myself, how can you say that before I turned 18 after all these years? After that day, I always hated him. I neglected my father's side of my family until one day I lost my grandmother on my father's side the next year. She passed away after my 19th birthday from breast cancer. That wasn't something I didn't want to hear. Going through that funeral with tears and pain in my heart, seeing family members I've never met, and they never knew I exist. Feeling like a stranger in my own family that I never knew I was a part. Some embraced me, some judged me, but I didn't care. I was there because I had to be. Looking at her in that coffin, I cried my heart out. But I heard God shout out, it's time to change your life. And that's when I changed when I had my makeover. Since that day, I changed my life. Chased my dreams of one day being drafted by an NFL team. My grandmother told me I would make it, so I got my grades up better in college, 1.7 GPA, to graduating with a 2.7. Played my last 2 years of football with all that I had. Stood up to the challenge, embraced it. Got a few awards: Defensive MVP in 2011, Defensive Captain in 2012, and the Youth Award and Outstanding Athletic Award by Cornerstone Baptist Church in 2012 as well. I achieved my goals, receiving an athletic scholarship to Fringe University to play football. Things were going swell. But in September 2012, I also lost my aunt to breast cancer. I accepted a youth award. So my life was put on pause. I had to keep going because I couldn't give up what I worked for. But it hurt like hell. Excuse my French. 4 months later, before my football signing day, I also lost my grandmother to sarcoidosis. And my life, it just got crazy. Watching her lifeless in the hospital. So I looked up to go and said, this is impossible. I looked up to God and said, this was impossible. So I told the world I would dedicate this upcoming football season to the people I've lost. I train every day, deal with the pain, every work, what I make to make them proud. I do whatever it costs. For every bad thing that's happened, it was the Lord's way of making me stronger. And life can fall apart, but only few can pick up the pieces and start over. I live my life in fear. Every day, fear has two concepts: forget everything and run, or the one I live by, face everything and rise. Because when they all call my name on the draft, that day I'm gonna thank God and point up to the sky. Thank you.